let me tell you the story of this guitar. This is what I labelled a McSherry O'Brien guitar. I have a band called McSherry O'Brien, my good friend Paul O'Brien. I'm Paul McSherry. Anyway, some years ago I thought to myself I'd love to design a guitar and see if I could come up with, find someone who could make it, basically. So I sat down with a pencil and a pad, and I came up with this particular design. And I wanted it, you can see it's sort of like a little bit like a Stratocaster, but it's like the whole body's been sort of shifted a little bit. And I also wanted an F-hole in it as well to make it look different. And I wanted the swamp ash for the look of it, which I think is absolutely gorgeous. But here is the true story, is that I made all the designs, if you like. They were just simple drawings really, but I did do them to scale. And then I sent them around to a number of people locally to see if they could make it. And a couple of them said yes, they'd be delighted to. But the factor that got me worried was the fact that they were so expensive. And I guess that's true when you make a guitar. You've got to allow for a lot of hours. And if it's a custom guitar, it means that you'd be cutting wood and doing something outside your normal specifications. It's not like they would probably do it at the Fender factory or the Gibson factory or wherever. But the point being that the quotes that I got were so, to me, they were just out of my league. There was like $4,500 to make this particular guitar. So I kept the drawings and I thought, one day when I've got enough money, I'll get it made. But then over the next few months, it was in the times when all of these guitars were coming out of China, and they were copies, just copies, but dead straight rip-offs from, Telecasters, Stratocasters. They made those Zakk Wylde Gibsons, Gibson ES335, the BB King Lucille guitar. And what happened was that they were selling them, they were coming across my feed, and it was constantly, they were selling them for $500. And I thought, wow, this is just bizarre. How can they make them so cheaply? And surely they'll get done. And then, as it turned out, people were buying these guitars, and then there were all these forums that were set up saying, can you tell the difference between a Fender Strat and a Chinese Fender Strat? And the term Chibson was coined because it was Gibson that was made in China, so they called them Chibsons. Can you see, the difference? But the interesting thing was that all the people who were, pointing out the differences, it was differences in maybe the logo, or it was a difference in the binding along the thing, or the pickup wasn't the same. But I was thinking, wow, they're getting incredibly close. And then it just, the light bulb went on, and I thought, I wonder if these guys could make a version of the guitar that I designed. So I made the contact with a factory over in China and said, could you make a guitar based on the drawings? They came back and said yes. And I said, how much? And believe it or not, they said $500. And I thought, whoa, you've got to be kidding. So they wanted a deposit, and I sent off $100 as a deposit and I remember at the time my wife Sarah said to me, you'll never see that 100 again. And I was, there's some trepidation. And to be honest, I sent the money over and then I forgot about it. Then a few months later, I got this email saying, hey, your guitar's made. Pay the rest of the money and we'll send it to you. And lo and behold, this is what they made. So you can criticise China for a lot of things, certainly foreign policy and, all the blah, 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 but their manufacturing skills, I would suggest, are pretty good. Because this is a terrific guitar. There is a couple of little things that I got adjusted when it did arrive. I just took it to a local luthier and he made some adjustments. The basic thing was that the bridge was a little bit out, so he just had to move that. I'm still not 100% happy with it because I think the action's a bit high. But that's a small thing. The point being that I got this guitar to my door that I designed myself for around $500. So it's a really special guitar to me because I've designed it, and I'm happy to have it in my arsenal of guitars. And the thing is, I was so happy with it that I actually I like the design so much that I got them to also make a bass, and they've made a bass guitar that's based on the same look as this particular one. But there it is. It's the McSherry O'Brien. I don't know, what do you call it? Well, it's an original guitar. It's not copied from anything, so it's I don't know what kind of. It probably needs a name like O'Brien caster or a McSherry caster or something like that. But Wilkinson pickups, Wilkinson tuners, the Swamp Ash Maple Neck. It's just a cracker of a guitar, really. And even though it is a little bit harder to play than the ones that I do normally play, it still comes up beautifully, and it's great.